Hello, hockey fans. My name is David. What I'll do is start this YouTube video at 12:45 on the morning of Saturday, 10th of December 2022, North American Eastern Time. What I will do is all right. Just gonna do what. All right, just trying to. Oops, I'm trying to apologize here for technical difficulties. Okay, sorry. Alright, so what I'm going to do is go to this tweet over here. How about whether the Leafs with regular season success should give, or more specifically Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, the ownership of the Leafs have failed success. There's very mixed bag. I know it's, so I do apologize for lighting. Alright. Well, what I would do is just. Alright. Alright. Alright, so what I would do is just to mention that there are all sorts of comments from Sterling Burton, who claimed that playoff success should be the deciding factor. Omer Rana, who claimed that playoff success wanted to extend to extend Dubas. And then from VC Atano, well, to him I'd say, let's wait. I have, it's my strong belief that Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, the ownership group of the Leafs, Raptors, and a few other sports teams from Ontario, should have fired Dubas' ass after the 2020 Stanley Cup playoffs had ended. So it's going to go there. It's going to there for now. So maybe you can see this here. Just leave it on there. All right. So again, I want to make it very clear that it's been a very mixed week among Canadian NHL teams, and I think of the Canucks performance in a couple games. They've done lots of goals given up. Thatcher Demko down due to injury. Spencer Martin pulled after allowing a bunch of ugly goals in one of the games. I forget which one. Yeah, and for Colin Delia. Those barn burners, lots of goals given up, lots of shocks to opposing teams. I think also on Monday the loss by the Oilers to the Capitals. It's on home ice, I believe it was, or was it in Washington? I forget. Yeah, it was close. Game was close because of the performance of Stuart Skinner, become the de facto main goalie for the Oilers, with Jack Campbell giving up loads of goals. It's a sieve. So many of the goals appear to have been ugly ones. So yeah, that's a problem. Watched the game with the Jets and the Blackhawks. Convincing win, I believe it was. Jets seem to be doing fine. The Habs are rebuilding. So, Leafs and Jets in relatively secure playoff spots. I think it's just a question of where the Leafs are going to finish in the Eastern Conference standings. But again, got a very good chance of ending in a top 3 divisional spot. Question will be which one. The Senators seem to go downhill. Slow starts costing them there was, against the LA Kings, against an LA Kings squad that the Leafs ended up beating, ending up shutting out. Sens were down 4-1 after the first period, and that was that for the most part. There were 2 goals scored, one by each team after that period. I believe both of them were in the third, but effectively it was too late. Sens were already behind. They weren't going to come back, and that was pretty much it. The game with Dallas Stars was closer, a lot closer, but still, an overtime loss. Definitely leaves Sens not much further out than 10 point, not much further ahead than late last month, excuse me. So that's, again, look at the Sanders. They ain't doing too good. And that hurts a lot. So the Sens are not likely to make the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Habs are rebuilding. The Leafs and Jets are in relatively secure divisional spots. Of course, can't take the security for granted, because the Leafs have to... I'll get into the Leafs-Flames game in a moment. But again, the Oilers won their game against the Minnesota Wild and are in a top 3 Pacific Division spot, but barely in one. Kings have struggled lately. The Kraken have lost 3 straight games in regulation. Let's see what happens. Flames are, slipped out a little bit, and I'm sure these Flames, having seen their offense go as ice cold as many people like their beer, very determined to try to pick up where it left off. I do feel for Eunice Corpusalo, Blue Jackets goalie, who missed the game due to some mysterious lower body injury. Not sure what it was, because it's kind of unusual, because it was 1-0 Jackets after 20 minutes. It was a surprise to see Merzlikins put in net when the Jackets were up 1-0 and the Flames had been firing loads of blanks. So I was surprised on that. I mean, I scratched my head, because it's so unusual to pull a goalie unless, from an NHL game, unless he's injured. If the reason doesn't have to be, that he's let in a bunch of bad goals, or the team or as a whole has let in a whole bunch of goals. I mean, Corpusalo, stopped every shot that he faced. Merzlikins stopped all but one after 40 minutes. So I would say the win goes to, Professionalism would say that the win goes to Corpusalo, because, he was on the ice. First of all, he was on the ice. Number one, he was on the ice when the opening goal was scored. Secondly, at no point did the Flames have a lead. At no point did the Flames tie up a game, never mind taking a lead. So therefore, conventional wisdom I would say conventional wisdom dictate award the win to Corpusalo. I don't know what's going to happen in terms of the official statistics, because Merzlikins played the bulk of the game. That being said, it's these Flames. You go in the official game statistics. I'm going to just see. I think I covered a bit more in Game Over Calgary. Yes, so I covered more in Game Over Calgary. Game Over Calgary comments I made on that live stream. Quickly from the official website. There's not a lot of hits, but so now I'm going to go to. All right. So I'm just going to. Right. I'm going to go to the. Excuse me. The official statistics. Or maybe on ESPN. I can do that. Alright, so it's the 9th of December, Eastern Time. Alright, let me go. Alright, so I'm gonna see. Time on the Ice. Alright. Oh yeah, that has hits. That shows hits. So I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna. Doesn't show a total for points, but. Alright. In case it's not really gonna show it on the ESPN website. So I do apologize if lighting is not the best. So what I would do is, alright, so what I would do is mention that there are some hits weren't a lot. Alright, team, where do we go here? Doesn't get told for hits, so we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, well, 14 to 12. The Blue Jackets out hit the Flames. But I also say that the excuse me. When it comes to the when it comes to the Flames, following team I was following. When it comes to offense, it was very limited. It was like only one goal. So that goal was scored by Michael Stone, a D-man, assisted by another D-man, Noah Hanfin, and a center, and Michael Backlund, a center. That's right. Only one forward got a point. 2 D-men did. I mean, it's good to get points from blue liners, but when it comes to plus minuses, Backlund, Ruzicka, and Stone got plus minuses of above 0. When it comes to sub-zero plus minuses, we have Huberdeau -1, Kadri -2, Lewis -1, Lindholm -1, Lucic, sometimes called Luch, -1, Mangiapane, a winger, -2, Toffoli -1, Radim Zohorna, as I mentioned in the Game Over Calgary live stream, you can go in the comments. They've been pretty much zeros. Not really anything there. I don't know what shots made, whatever. I don't know. Well, I don't know. But it's pretty much 0 for the night. Face-offs, you end up taking 3, winning 1 of them. So yeah, when it comes to come to the defensemen, we have Anderson -2, Tanev -1, Uyghur -1 gave away the puck on that, and what would turn out to be the game-winning goal. Not that it mattered too much in terms of the grand scheme of things, because scoring 1 goal is often not enough to win a game, even to get a point. But again, the fact that it happened, it's like one would have thought the Flames would have been better by now with there. It's close to 1. Jonathan Huberdeau, Mackenzie Weegar. In a trade with Matt Tkachuk, exchanging draft picks. Who would have thought the Flames would have gotten so much worse? Yeah, okay, the Flames ended up going on a roll after the last All-Star break to clinch top spot in the Pacific Division. But these Flames feel like they're I feel these Flames are a longer way from the Pacific Division's top spot. The Oilers look like they're getting up there. If we can continue that momentum, we shall see. So yeah, it's alright. It's going to be a very interesting weekend. Alright, we'll go to the games. It's on the Sportsnet channel. Alright. So it's going to be an interesting night. Sens, Flames, Leafs, Habs, and Canucks are going to be in action. Sens, Flames, Leafs, Habs, Canucks in action. So there will be 5 Canadian teams in action on Saturday, with Sens Preds game in the afternoon. The others, the afternoon Eastern time. The others in after once sun goes down the Eastern time zone. Sunday there's only one game, an evening one. Jets hosting the Caps. And then we go to Monday. To begin next week, we have an all-Canadian, one all-Canadian affair. Flames and Habs, with the Habs hosting. Truck drop expected to be a bit after 7 Eastern time. Sens hosting the Ducks. A bit after 7:30 when pre-game ceremonies are taken into account. Oilers and Wild, with Minnesota hosting. So Tuesday, it's going to be a very busy docket of games. So we have what's here? We have 24 NHL teams in action, including among Canadian teams, the Leafs hosting the Ducks. So I'd say that's probably going to be on TSN because it's SN now premium. We have the Oilers away from home against Spreads, Sportsnet West. Jets hosting the Golden Knights. Be on one of the TSN channels. I'm not sure which one. Wednesday going to feature, a much smaller slate of games, including, just 2 all-Canadian matchups. Sens hosting the Habs on Sportsnet, and Flames hosting the Canucks on Sportsnet. So the Habs Sens game will be on a bit after 7, after taking into account pre-game ceremonies, and then the game between the two Western Canadian teams will be starting a bit after 10, after pre-game ceremonies are taken into account. So Thursday the 15th of December, it's going to be another docket of NHL games. It's going to be 24 teams in action, including among Canadian ones. The Habs hosting the Ducks. That'll be an early evening one. The Leafs in Broadway to play the Rangers. The Jets hosting the Preds, and the Oilers hosting the Blues. So to the Habs, Leafs, Jets, and Oilers in action among the teams. So Friday, it's going to be very thin docket of games. The Flames hosting the Blues. Then we get into next weekend, so it will end up being the second last full weekend Eastern time of 2022. So on that weekend day, Sens away from home against the Wings. It'll be an afternoon game. The Oilers hosting the Ducks in another afternoon game. Habs hosting the Lightning in an evening game. Leafs on the road against the Capitals in an evening game. The Canucks hosting the Jets very late. The Canucks hosting the Jets in a late game, and then we go on the second last Sunday of 2022. We have Sens in action against the Wild. That's an afternoon game Eastern time. Then 2 little later games. Jets away from home against the Kraken. Starting a bit after 8 p.m. Eastern time, after taking into account pre-game ceremonies. Then we have the Flames in action against the Sharks at the Shark Tank, the SCP Center. So that's pretty much summary of games up to including the second last full weekend of 2022. And on that note, I say, should Dubas be extended? Not yet. When it comes to the games, I would say that the Leafs have yet to win a playoff series. If they don't win a playoff series, as much as I would have liked Dubas and Shanahan to be fired, no more than 3 seasons ago, The fact that Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment allowed those executives to stay on is very telling. I don't know what MLC is going to do after the season because it depends on what happens. On the other hand, there's no doubt that Dubas hasn't drafted very well, and Brendan Shanahan has just stood on by as president. It's a wasted rebuild, simple as that. I look forward to seeing those executives gone, unless the Leafs win ideally at least 2 playoff series. If it's 1 playoff series, well, we'll see about that. But if the Leafs end up losing in the first round, both execs should be gone. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, on that note, I say goodnight, and go Leafs go.